great fourth quarter. But what about the other
Yeah, I
quarters?
was the only thing that bothered me at halftime. We kind of had a I don't know what the word is, a distant look in our eye, and it was a 1 point game. And these guys play everybody tough. I don't know how many close games Ottawa's played, but they played a ton. I don't think that we were overlooking them. I don't that there was a zero of that. I just think it was like we were waiting for something to happen instead of making something happen. So that was kind of the halftime thing, and um, we were trying to sell them on the sideline about even when we're down 16, that's two possessions, two touchdowns and two pointers, and that you got to keep going and keep working. I know I didn't have to sell Vernon on it. He's been around long enough to know that you keep working, you keep playing, and you see what happens. And so obviously, I'm very proud that they kept working and find a way to get it done.
Just a couple questions on some of the decisions going for it on I think 3rd and 8 when you guys were in the red
Yeah,
zone, and then not doing a second onside kick. Just what were your thoughts on the clock management and the 5 minutes to end that?
yeah. I always reflect on what I do and the decisions I make. My thought process on the going for it on 3rd and 8 was strike while we're down there that tight, and that it was going to take two touchdowns and two-point plays. And so I thought if we even got a touchdown, we missed it. We will still keep going. And if we were further out, I think I kick a field goal. But when we're in that tight, I wanted to, because we were struggling. I mean, we weren't lighting it up yet. So that was that. And then the it's not often you see where you miss an onside kick and then you get to kick off deep. But I always talk with Jordan. I have a chart in my pocket, and I always talk with him upstairs about how much time they can kill. So we said, let's kick it deep, and if we stop them, we're still going to have time. And that's why we kicked off deep. Is that we thought their hands team would be on, so that we thought hopefully we can pin them down there. And so credit to our players, but that's how that all went down.
On defense, you guys really struggled to stop the run in the first half, but in the second half, you made those stops in the backfield when you had to.
Yeah.
What was the switch at halftime?
I don't know. We'll have to see. We talked about making sure about simplifying and making sure we were in our best fronts. We just talked in the locker room about getting our best fronts to stop the run, make sure we got the guys on the field that we want to cancel the run, and we were we talked about it at halftime. It was we were I think we were losing the physical battle on all sides of the ball, and they were making plays and we weren't. But obviously, we made enough plays at the end to get it done.
Justin McInnes has made some big plays for you this year, but I don't think he's ever been the focal point like
Yeah.
he was today on any team. How much trust do you have in him right now?
Total. That's why he's playing Dominique Grimes' spot, and that's we were playing an American in that spot, and so obviously you can tell you what we think. We don't care that he's Canadian. We think he's our best option at that. And just when you see him standing next to some DBs, even when he lines up there, I'm like, if I'm a defensive coach, I'm like, oh man, he's the height difference is so much that you throw up those 50-50 balls, it's tough on a smaller DB.
VA obviously threw those 3 interceptions, but then rallied to kind of lead that game-winning drive. What do you think that kind of? That mentality keeps
the thing I like about VA, there's some quarterbacks when you get behind, they won't throw the ball. They'll eat it because they don't want the stats to look bad and they don't want people to talk about them and talk about all the interceptions they threw. But he doesn't play for stats. He plays to win. So I'm glad he keeps slinging it and keeps playing the game. And when he was going out onto the field, I told him this is how much time we're probably going to have around that around 40 seconds. We're trying to get in field goal range. I could tell by the look in his eyes, he was like, field goal, let's go and get more. So good on him, and I'm glad he plays the game to win, not for the stats.
Winnipeg also lost today, so you guys are kind of right there now in the battle for first again.
Yeah, we gotta. It's exciting, and obviously there's tons of things to get better at, and we're gonna go in and watch it tomorrow with the players, and it's going to be a little easier to get after them after a win, as you know, than get after them after a loss. So we'll make sure we get in there and look at things and keep going and keep growing. And it's going to be exciting in the CFL. So
Marcus Sales, you lost a new hip injury?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything more other than he was up on the sideline, and so we're going to see what all that is. I've not talked to our doctors yet.
Two guys I want to ask you about. Josh Woods getting more work.
Yeah.
And you also had Varga getting kind of what
Yeah.
Woods had got previously. Just your thought on the performance of those two.
Yeah, we're excited that Josh got a full-time opportunity to play. We really like him. We think he's a good player, and he fits the CFL well with his skill set. And then Ryder, I'm impressed with Ryder. This is his first. We drafted him the previous year, but this is his first year playing football, and it doesn't seem too big for him. You know, whether you're asking him to, Mackie runs our punt team, but he's our next guy, and he doesn't get phased by that. There's a lot of young guys that would not want any part of that, and he goes about his business, and he's a good football player, and that guy stays healthy. He's going to play in this league a long time.
Terry talked a little about belief. When did you start believing that the comeback was possible? You're down.
I've been around long enough. You're going to think I'm full of it, but you got to play this thing all the way till the end, because it's when they were kicking a field goal, that you're in your mind you're thinking 10-point play. That's what we try to sell our guys on, because I think it's the biggest mismatch play in pro football, NFL or CFL, is you got a bunch of O-linemen trying to go run down a small returner. So anytime we kick a long field goal, we're lucky we have a really good kicker, but you're holding your breath because the guy gets started. You never know what's going to happen. So, good on Terry. I mean, talk about a trade that was well worth it. He's just a ball of energy and goes all the time. And obviously the field goal was the biggest one, but there were obviously, and then the last punt return was huge, but we were really good in the kickoff return and punt return of being very efficient and getting good chunks.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations on the win in what was probably one of the most electrifying, entertaining games of the season.
Yeah.
Bit of a double-edged sword in the sense that there's the confidence that you know that you've got the men in the locker room who will come back and will never quit.
Yeah.
Wonderful. But at the same token, went down significantly. So when you're looking at the tape and making corrections, I know you say you didn't take Ottawa lightly, but is that one of the focal points that you're going to be focusing in on in terms of how to almost get out of hand?
I think it's just going to be about how we can do things better, whether it's scheme wise or making sure we play the right people, all that stuff. That's part of coaching is figuring all that stuff out. And there's a whole bunch of stuff we need to get better at, regardless of whether we won or whether we lost. And Ottawa's good. I know their record is what it is, but they play everybody tough. You can just look at their scores going all the way down the way. So this is nothing shocking. This is nothing surprising. And, we got one in the win column, which is huge. And then we obviously need to work to get better.
Does the beard stay?
I don't know. I have to ask my wife. I don't know what to think about it.
Two wins with it.
Yeah, that's true. The players say yes, but sometimes my face says no.
You said you don't do superstitions unless they work.
That's exactly right. I don't believe in superstitions unless they work. That's right.